So, ang lesson natin ngayon is about solving exponential equation and inequalities. Are at the end of this session, you have to distinguish between exponential function, exponential equation, and exponential inequality. Also, you have to define and differentiate exponential function, exponential equation, and exponential inequality. And hopefully, at the end of this video presentation, you are able to solve exponential equation and exponential inequality. So before we proceed with our main lesson, let us recall how to simplify expressions. So let us have the first example. We have 4x raised to 3y all over 24x y cubed. Okay. So, kung naaalala nyo nung kayo ay junior high school, paano ba tayo nagsisimplify ng mga algebraic expressions? Of course, ang first na ino-observe natin ay yung mga numerical coefficients or yung mga numerical value. So, dito we have 4 and 24. So, for us to simplify 4 and 24, look for their greatest common factor. And their GCF is 4. It means 4 and 24 are both divisible by 4. So, when you divide 4 by 4, we will have 1. While sa 24, pag dinivide mo by 4, we will have 6. So, in short, the simplified form for 4 all over 24 is 1 all over 6. And then, proceed tayo dun sa mga variables. We have x cubed and x. So, x cubed all over x. Okay. Ang i-recall nyo naman dito in simplifying expressions ay yung loss on exponent. So, if we have x cubed all over x, we will have x squared. Okay. The next variable, we have y. So, y all over y cubed. So, again, apply the loss on exponent. We will have 1 all over y squared. So, the final answer is x squared all over 6y squared. Next example. So, let us have quantity negative 2r s quantity squared all over 12r squared s cubed. So, this time, we will apply the PEMDAS on the numerator. So, isimplify muna natin yung numerator. Then, we can now simplify the whole expression. So, we have positive 4 r squared s squared all over 12r squared s cubed. And then, katulad nung ginawa natin sa first example, isimplify muna natin yung mga numerical values. So, 4 and 12 are both divisible by 4. So, we will have 1 all over 3. And then, simplify the variables since we have, so r squared is eliminated, so that is equal to 1. And then, s squared all over s cubed, we will have 1 all over s. So, the final answer is 1 all over 3s. So, next example, we have 10x squared y all over 15x raised to 5y squared. So, dahil alam na natin yung process in simplifying expression, what do you think is the answer? So, we have 2 all over 3. Then, we have x cubed on the denominator and y on the denominator. So, we have the final answer as 2 all over 3x cubed y. Okay. Ngayon, alam nyo na yung reason kung bakit. So, again, dito, pag in-apply natin yung quotient rule, it will become 2 minus 5. And that is negative 3. Since negative 3 yung sagot, siya ay nasa denominator. Then, we also have y all over y squared. So, 1 minus 2, that is 1. Okay, that is negative 1. That is why nasa baba yung ating y or yung variable y. Next example. We have x raised to negative 6. So, kapag ganito po yung expression natin, so meron tayong negative exponent. kukunin lang natin yung reciprocal ng base, that is 1 all over x, and then yung exponent niya, which is negative 6, will become positive. So, x raised to negative 6 is equal to 1 all over x raised to 6. And for the last example, we have 4, x raised to 4, y raised to negative 4, quantity raised to 3. So, ang gagawin lang natin dito, i-distribute natin yung exponent. So, it will become 4 cubed, then x raised to 4 raised to 3, then y raised to negative 4 raised to 3. Para hindi kayo malito, i-distribute nyo yung exponents kung hindi nyo pa siya kayang dire-diretsuhin. So, 4 cubed is equal to 64. Okay, bakit naging 64? Si 4 ay multiply mo ng 3 beses sa kanyang sarili. So, we have 4 multiplied by 4, and that is 16, multiplied by 4, and that is 64. Then, ang i-apply naman natin dito sa variables ay yung power rule sa laws on exponent. So, pag sinabi nating power rule, if the exponent is raised to another exponent, ibig sabihin, si x raised to 4 raised to 3, ang gagawin natin sa kanyang exponent ay i-multiply. So, we now have x raised to 12, then y raised to negative 12. So, hindi pa siya simplified since may negative pa sa ating mga exponent. So, the final answer will be 64 x squared all over y raised to, 64x raised to 12 all over y raised to 12. Let us proceed with distinguishing the exponential expressions. So, we have here the definitions of exponential equation, exponential inequality, and exponential function. So, again, if we have an exponential equation, that is an equation that involves exponential expression. So, ang tatandaan yung mga anak, pag it involves exponential expression, this time, yung exponents natin ay with variables, okay? So, ang base naman natin dito kay exponential expressions ay integers. Okay, so as you can see sa example natin, we have 7 raised to 2x minus x squared is equals to 1 all over 343. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung exponent ng base natin na si 7 ay 2x minus x squared. So, ibig sabihin, yung ating exponent dito ay with the variables. Okay po. Next, we have exponential inequality, an inequality that involves exponential expressions. So, tignan natin yung examples natin. We have 5 raised to 2x minus 5 raised to x plus 4 is less than or equal to 0. So, pansinin nyo, yung exponent natin ay with variables. And also, since ito ay inequality, gumagamit tayo ng inequality symbol. So, it may be less than, greater than, or equal, or less than, or equal. Then, the third one, we have the exponential function. That is a function that involves exponential expression. So, function of the form f of x is equals to b raised to x. Or, pwede nyo ring makita as y is equals to b raised to x. Where your b is your base and the x variable will be your exponent. Tatandaan nyo nga lang lagi sa exponential function, your base must be greater than 0 and b must not be equal to 1. So, ito yung example natin. We have f of x is equals to 1.8 raised to x, or y is equals to 1.8 raised to x. Now, let us focus on solving exponential equation. But before that, let me remind you of this property. It states that f of x is equals to b raised to x. If x sub 1 is not equal to x sub 2, then b raised to x sub 1 is not equal to b raised to x sub 2. And that is one-to-one property of exponential function. Anong ibig sabihin niya? Ibig sabihin, let's say your base is 2. Okay? So, let's assign the value for x sub 1 and x sub 2. So, ang sabi dito, x sub 1 is not equal to x sub 2. So, let's say x sub 1 is 2 and x sub 2 is 3. So, we all know that 2 is not equal to 3, hindi ba? So, when we raise your base to 2 and 3, they are also not equal. So let's say, so your base is 2. We have 2 squared is not equal to 2 cubed because we all know 2 squared is 4 and 2 raised to 3 is 8. So 4 is not equal to 8. That is why if your function is b raised to x, if x sub 1 is not equal to x sub 2, then b raised to x sub 1 is not equal to b raised to x sub 2. Conversely, then, if x sub 1 is equal to x sub 2, then b raised to x sub 1 is equal to x sub 2. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nun? So, again, gamitin ulit natin. Ito, your base is 2. Then, if x sub 1 is equals to x sub 2, so kung ang x sub 1 mo ay 2, ang x sub 2 mo rin ay 2 because x sub 1 is equals to x sub 2. Then, b raised to x sub 1 is equals to b raised to x sub 2. So, erase natin yung ating base sa 2. Is 2 squared equal to 2 squared? So, 2 squared is equals to 4. 2 squared is equal to 4. They are equal. So, that is why if your base that is raised to x sub 1 is equal to your base raised to x sub 2, then x sub 1 is equals to x sub 2. Property paves the way in understanding how to solve exponential equation. Now, para mas mapasimple natin yung explanation natin kay one-to-one property of exponential function, i-apply natin siya. How to solve exponential equation ba? So, ito lang po ang tatandaan natin. First step, same base. Ano ibig sabihin ng same base? You have to express both sides of the equation to have same bases. Second step, so kung sa first step mo, nagkaroon ka na ng same base, ano na ang gagawin mo? Ano yung O to O? You have to apply one-to-one property of exponential function that states that if your b raised to x sub 1 is equal to b raised to x sub 2, then x sub 1 is equal to x sub 2. So, you can now finally equate your exponents since sa first step ay equal na yung base mo. And then, for the last step, you have to solve for x. Okay? So, you may use the addition property of equality in order to solve for x. So, mga anak, para mas maintindihan natin how to solve exponential equation, so magbigay tayo ng example. So, again, ito yung 3 steps natin na lagi niyong tatandaan. Okay. So, let us have 4 raised to x minus 1 is equal to 16. Okay. So, again, ano ba yung first step natin? Kailangan natin, we have to express both sides of the equation to have the same base. So, ang base natin sa step 1 is 4. Okay. So, ngayon, since 4 na yung nasa left side ng equation natin, we will just copy its exponent. And then, on the right side, since 16 siya, saan natin i-erase yung 4 para maging 16? So, that is 2. Now, we may now proceed with second step. Since, kung papansinin nyo sa first step, parehas naman na yung base natin, pwede na nating ibaba yung exponent. So, we have x minus 1 is equal to 2. Okay. So, that is a one-to-one property of exponential function. And then, kung nakita na natin na equal sila, and then on the third step, we may now solve for x. So, we have x is equal to 2 plus 1. Okay. You know already the reason behind this solution. We all know that we have to eliminate negative 1 from the left side. So, we have to add the additive inverse of negative 1. So, we have to add both sides of the equation by positive 1 because positive 1 is the additive inverse of negative 1. So, para lang ma-eliminate siya sa left side. So, that is why we will have x is equals to 2 plus 1. So, therefore, x is equals to positive 3. And then, mga anak, if you want to check your answer, di ba ang nakuha natin ay ang value ni x ay positive 3, balik ka sa original equation. And that is 4 raised to x minus 1 is equal to 16. Tignan natin kung mag-i-equal ba talaga yung expression sa left side dun sa right side. Okay. So, let us substitute 3 dun sa ating x minus 1. So, we'll have 3 minus 1 is equal to 16. So, 4 raised to 3 minus 1, that is 4 squared, we have 16. We all know that 4 squared is equal to 16. Ibig sabihin, they are equal. If they are equal, your solution is correct. So, let us have another example. Let us solve 125 raised x minus 1 is equals to 25 raised to x plus 3. So, again, our first step, kailangan same base sila. So, we have 125 and 25. So, ang ating base ay 5. So, 5 raised to 3, that is equals to 125 raised to x minus 1. And that is equal to 25. So, kung 5 naman ang base natin, i-raise natin siya sa 2. So, 5 squared is equals to 25 raised to x plus 3. Now, sa step 1, kailangan daw same base. Since same base na sila, we may now proceed with the second step, and that is to apply one-to-one property of exponential function. So, therefore, we can now bring down the exponent. So, we have 3 multiplied by x minus 1 is equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 3. And then, we may now solve for x. So, that is our third step. So, in solving x, we may use the addition property of equality in order to solve for x. Or, in this kind of situation, kailangan i-distribute muna natin si 2 at saka si 3. Okay. So, we have 3x minus 3 is equal to 2x plus 6. Okay. And then, dito, para makasolve natin si x, kailangan we have to combine like terms. So, lahat ng may variables, pag sama-samahin natin. And then, sa kabilang side naman ng equation, kailangan nandun yung ating mga constants. So, we have now 3x minus 2x is equals to 6 plus 3. So, 3x minus 2x is x. That is equals to 6 plus 3, and that is 9. Okay, so, the value of x is positive 9 para lang maging equal etong 125 raised to x minus 1 is equals to 25 raised to x plus 3. Our last example, we have 9 raised to x squared is equal to 3 raised to x plus 3. So again, sa first step, kailangan parehas ang ating base. So we have 3 squared, that is equals to 9. And 9 is raised to x squared is equal to 3 raised to x plus 3. Since yun nasa right side naman talaga natin, ang base natin ay 3. So, we may now proceed with the second step. Bring down your exponents. We have 2 multiplied by x squared is equal to x plus 3. So, as you have noticed, quadratic yung ating equation dito because we have the exponent of 2 dun sa ating variable x. So, we have 2x squared is equal to x plus 3. Now, paano tayo mapupunta sa third step? Ano ang gagawin natin? Paano natin isosolve yung x? So, ang gawin natin, 2x squared minus x minus 3 is equals to 0. Okay, kung mapapansin nyo, ginawa natin siyang quadratic equation kasi in solving for x, kung quadratic siya, pwede nating i-factor o kaya gamitan natin yung ating quadratic formula. So, nasa inyo yun kung ano ang mas madadalian kayong gamitin. So, ang gawin natin, i-factor natin siya. Since kilala naman natin that this kind of trinomial is a quadratic trinomial under case number 2. Pag sinabi natin case number 2, a is not equal to 1. Ang a natin dito ay 2. Ibig sabihin, yung coefficient ni x squared. Ang b natin ay negative 1. ang C natin ay negative 3. Or sabi ko nga kanina, pwede nyo rin namang gamitin yung quadratic formula. So, kung saan kayo madadalian. So, this time, ang gawin natin, i-factor natin. Okay. So, quadratic trinomial under case number 2, paano natin siya i-factor? That is with the use of trial and error. So, we have to multiply A and C. And then, kung ano man yung factors ni A and C, dapat pag inad natin yon, ang sagot ay B. So, ano ba yung 2 multiplied by negative 3? So, we have negative 6. So, what are the factors of negative 6? Na kapag inad natin ay negative 1. So, i-list ulit natin yung mga factors. So, we have 2 multiplied by negative 3 or negative 2 multiplied by positive 3. We may have 6 multiplied by negative 1 or negative 6 multiplied by positive 1. And then, i-add natin. So, if we have 2 plus negative 3, we will have negative 1. If we have negative 2 plus positive 3, we have positive 1. If we have 6 plus negative 1, we have positive 5. If we have negative 6 plus positive 1, we have negative 5. Ang hinahanap natin ay negative 1 at ang nakapagbigay nun ay yung unang factor. We have 2 plus 3. 2 plus negative 3. Okay. So, ano ang gagawin natin? So, i-rewrite muna natin yung ating quadratic trinomial. We have 2x squared minus x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now, we have 2x squared minus, so, itong nakuha nating factor, i-expand natin tong middle term. So, it will become plus, dahil positive 2 yon, so plus 2x, then dahil negative 3 yon, negative 3x minus 3 is equal to 0. So, kung mapapansin nyo, in-expand natin yung middle term. Okay, so paano natin siya i-factor? So, i-rewrite natin ngayon. We have 2x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 3 is equals to 0. So, after nating i-rewrite, gumamit tayo ng grouping symbol. So, i-group natin siya into 2. So, we will have 2x squared plus 2x. So, ito yung first group natin. We will use a parenthesis. Then, plus, yung second group naman natin, we will have negative 3x minus 3 is equal to 0. So, saan natin nakuha yon? So, gumamit tayo ng grouping symbol para factor out natin yung mga common factors sa kanila. So, sa first group natin, we have 2x squared plus 2x. So, again, in factoring a quadratic trinomial like this, case number 2, again, a is not equal to 1 because our a is 2 here. So, ang gagawin natin, tignan natin ano yung common factor. We have 2x squared and 2x. Ang common factor sa kanila ay 2x. So, factor out that 2x. And then, ang maiiwan na lang dun sa group 1 natin ay x plus 1. Di ba? So, na-factor out natin si 2x. Then, plus. Dito naman sa second group, which is negative 3x minus 3, ang common factor sa kanila ay negative 3. So, ang ilalabas natin ay negative 3. So, ang maiiwan naman sa loob ay x, then negative 3, plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. So, ngayon, ano yung common sa dalawa na to? Sa dalawang group na yan. Fa-factor out din natin. Since nakikita natin, common sa kanila ay si x plus 1. So, ibig sabihin, isa na siya sa factor. Then, we have 2x plus negative 3. Ano ang maiiwan? Kapag ka na-factor out si x plus 1, we will have 2x and negative 3. So, it will become negative 3. So, ang factors pala natin ay x plus 1 multiplied by 2x minus 3. Ito ngayon ang factor nung ating 2x squared minus x minus 3 is equal to 0. So again, napahaba lang natin siya because we need to factor for us to solve for x. Now, dahil sa factor natin, again, we have x plus 1 and we have 2x minus 3. So, ang factor natin na una ay x plus 1. Equate natin siya kay 0. Then, also, we have 2x minus 3. Equate natin siya kay 0 for us to solve for x. So, x is equals to negative 1. We have here 2x is equal to 3. So, x is equals to 3 halves. So, dalawa po yung ating value para kay x. Now, if you want to check if your solution is correct, balik tayo dun sa original exponential equation. And that is 9 raised to x squared is equals to 3x plus 3 raised to x plus 3. So, i-copy natin. Balik tayo dyan. Okay, ano ang gagawin natin dun sa original? Tignan natin kung yung dalawa ba nating nakuha na value ni x will satisfy the given exponential equation. So again, let us have negative 1. So we have 9 raised to negative 1 squared. Is it equal to 3 raised to negative 1 plus 3? So we have negative 1 squared is 1. So, 9 raised to 1 is 9. Okay. Is it equal to? So, we have 3 raised to negative 1 plus 3. We have positive 2. And 3 squared is 9. So, they are equal. So, ibig sabihin, if the value of x is negative 1, the exponential equation is true. Okay, kung true siya, ibig sabihin, possible value niya talaga si negative 1. Now, gawin naman natin, i-substitute naman natin yung 3 halves. So, again, let us just copy the original exponential equation. And then, i-substitute naman natin si x is equals to 3 halves. So, we have 9 raised to 3 halves squared is equal to 3 raised to 3 halves plus 3. So, we have 9 raised to 9 all over 4. Is it equal to 3 raised to 3 halves plus 3? So, since i-add natin yung fraction to whole number. So, again, LCD, we have 2, then 3 plus 6. So, we have now 9 raised to 9 all over 4. Is it equal to 3 raised to 9 all over 2? Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo, parang hindi ba? Kasi bakit ganun? Magkaiba. Kasi magkaiba pa yung base natin. So, i-simplify natin itong expression na to. I-simplify natin para mapatunayan natin kung talaga ba sila ay equal. So, again, we have 9. So, gawin natin, pagparehasin muna natin yung base natin. We have 3 squared raised to 9 all over 4. We have 3 raised to 9 all over 2. So, we have 3 raised to, it will become 18 all over 4. Is it equal to 3 raised to 9 all over 2? Then, we may now simplify 18 over 4. So, bakit naging 18 over 4? Diba, we have 3 squared raised to 9 all over 4. So, yung 2 na exponent ni 3, i-multiply natin siya because that is power rule. Pag nag-multiply tayo ng whole number sa fraction, minumultiply lang natin siya sa numerator. So, we have 18 all over 4. Now, 18 over 4 is also equal to 9 all over 2 because 18 and 4 are both divisible by 2. So, we have 3 raised to 9 all over 2. Now, are they equal? If yes, the solution is correct. And the equation is true if the value of x is 3 halves. So, ibig sabihin, dalawa yung value ng x natin. Isang 3 halves at isang negative 1. Proceed with solving exponential inequality. So, in solving exponential inequality, you have to be reminded of the property of exponential inequality that states that if b is greater than 1, then the exponential function y is equals to b raised to x is increasingly for all x. That means that if b raised to x is less than b raised to y, if and only if x is less than y. And for the second statement of this property, we have if your b or your base is between 0 and 1, then the exponential function y is equals to b raised to x is decreasingly for all x. This means that b raised to x is greater than b raised to y if and only if x is less than y. Ano yung ibig nating sabihin dito sa property nito? So first statement, if your base is greater than 1, habang tumataas yung value nung iyong exponent, the value of the function y is equals to b raised to x will also increase. So, as the value of x increases, the value of y also increases when your base is greater than 1. But if your base is between 0 and 1, habang tumataas naman yung value ni x, bumababa naman yung value ng function mo. So, ibig sabihin, dahil yung base mo nga ay between 0 and 1, let's say 1/2 or 1/4, as its exponent increases, its value decreases. So, ibig sabihin, as the value of x increases, the value of y decreases. So, paano natin mas maiintindihan itong property na to? So, we will understand this in solving exponential inequality. So, ito ang i-apply nating property. So, again, how to solve exponential inequality ba? So, first step, so katulad din kay exponential equation, kailangan we have to express both sides of the inequality to have the same bases. Then, for the second step, you have to observe your base. Okay, anong titignan mo dun sa base mo? If your base is greater than 1, you have to copy its inequality symbol. But if your base is between 0 and 1, you have to get the opposite of the inequality symbol. And then, for the third step, you have to solve for x. Okay, so you have to apply combining like terms. So, para mas maintindihan pa natin itong steps to follow in solving exponential inequality, let us have an example. 5 raised to x is greater than 5 raised to 3 quantity x plus 8. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ang first step natin, kailangan daw same base. Doon sa ating given, parehas na naman na yung base natin. So, ilalagay na lang natin sa step 1. Kokopyahin na lang natin yung given natin. So, we have 5 raised to x is greater than 5 raised to 3 quantity x plus 8. And then, for the second step, you have to observe your base. Ano ba yung base mo? Your base is positive 5. We all know that 5 is greater than 1. So, your base is greater than 1. Kung ganon, ibig sabihin, kukopyahin lang natin yung inequality symbol. Inequality symbol nino? Inequality symbol na gamit mo dun sa step 1. And that is greater than. So, pag binaba na natin yung exponent, gagamitin natin yung inequality symbol na ginamit natin sa first step. So, we have x as the exponent of your base on the left side of the inequality is greater than 3 multiplied by x plus 8 na nanggaling dun sa exponent dun sa right side ng inequality. So, now, we may now proceed with the third step. We have to solve for x. So, we have x is greater than, i-distribute natin si 3, we have 3x plus 24. So, combine like terms, we have x minus 3x is greater than 24. X minus 3x is negative 2x is greater than 24. Now, ito yung note na dapat nyo laging tatandaan. In solving for x this time, we have to divide both sides by negative 2, hindi ba? Okay, for us to eliminate negative 2, for us to solve for x. But, meron tayong laging tatandaan na kapag inequality, ang gagawin natin for eliminating coefficients dun sa variable, pag nag-divide or nag-multiply tayo ng negative integer, mababaliktad yung ating inequality symbol. So, ano ibig kong sabihin? Since nag-divide tayo both sides of the inequality ng negative 2, from greater than, it will become less than. Okay. Then, divide 24 divided by negative 2, we have negative 12. Bakit pinalitan ng opposite symbol? Dahil bumaba yung kanyang value. Every time na magmo-multiply ka or magdi-divide ka ng negative, bababa yung kanyang value. Hindi ba? Or mababago yung value niya. That is why, papalitan mo ngayon yung inequality symbol. So, lagi niyong tatandaan, when you divide or multiply a negative integer, at ang iyong given ay inequality, you have to get the opposite symbol of that inequality. So, now, the possible values of x is less than negative 12. So, lahat daw ng values ni x that is less than negative 12 will satisfy your exponential inequality. Next example, we have to solve for the values of x in 1 all over 10 raised to x plus 5 is greater than 1 all over 100 raised to 3x. So again, for our first step, you have to look for their same base, and that is 1 all over 10. So we have 1 all over 10. Since ang nasa left side ng inequality ay 1 all over 10, we will just copy the left side of the inequality. We have 1 all over 10 raised to x plus 5. And that is greater than 1 all over 100 raised to 3x. So, para maging pareha sila, kailangan ang base mo rin sa right side ay 1 all over 10. So, para maging equal sila kay 1 all over 100, i-raise mo siya ngayon kay 2. Because 1 all over 10 raised to 2, that is 1 all over 100. Si 1 all over 100 ay naka-raise pa sa exponent na 3x. So, you have to raise also this to 3x. Okay. Now, you may proceed with the second step since parehas na yung base mo. Ang second step mo, you have to observe your base. Ang base mo, again, ay 1 all over 10. And 1 all over 10 is between 0 and 1. So, ibig sabihin, you have to get the opposite of the inequality symbol. So, kung mapapansin nyo mga anak, ang gamit natin sa first step ay greater than. So, since your base is between 0 and 1, it will become less than because you have to get the opposite of the inequality symbol. So, we have the exponents for the left and right sides of the inequality. We have x plus 5 and 2 multiplied by 3x. So, sa second step natin, we will have x plus 5 is less than 2 multiplied by 3x. Okay, that is because of the property of the exponential inequality that if your base is between 0 and 1, your function will decreasingly for all x. So, that is why papalitan mo ngayon yung inequality symbol mo. Kasi habang tumataas yung value ng exponent mo at ang iyong base ay between 0 and 1, lumiliit lang yung kanyang value. Okay. So, we may now proceed with the third step. Solve for x. We have x plus 5 is less than 6x. Okay. Because 2 multiplied by 3x is 6x. And then combine like terms. We now have x minus 6x is less than negative 5. So, you have to eliminate positive 5 on the left side. So, it will become negative 5 on the right side. You have to eliminate 6x on the right side. So, you have to add additive inverse. And that is negative 6x. That's why we have negative 6x on the left side. Now, x minus 6x is negative 5x is less than negative 5. Divide both sides by negative 5. Okay, narinig nyo na naman. Nag-divide na naman tayo ng negative 5. For us to eliminate negative 5 as the numerical coefficient of the variable x for us to solve for x. So, from less than, it will become greater than. Then, negative 5 divided by negative 5, we have positive 1. So, therefore, the possible values of x is greater than 1. Okay. The possible values of x that will satisfy and will make the inequality or the exponential inequality true is x is greater than 1.